bring on board Ashwin Patil, the research analyst of the auto sector from LKP Securities. Thanks so much, Ashwin, for making time for us. This morning itself, there have been 4 initiations on Hyundai. It's 3 subscribes coming in, whether it's Motilal, Macquarie, Nomura, and 1 reduced coming in from MK. Which side of the debate are you standing on as far as Hyundai is concerned from here on?
See, I would say that, considering all those negatives, which, before the listing were in the minds of investors, just like, the OFS won't bring much to the table for the Indian subsidiary. And also the royalty issue was there and the valuation issues were there. But I think that all said and done, now the negatives are quite factored in the price. And from here on, the stock should look upwards itself. So I think that there are certain positives which we have listed, like in the form of the market share decline in Hyundai is not that stark. They are at about 15%. Then Q1 margins were at about 13.8%. Return ratios are quite strong. Their product mix is good in the form of 68% coming from SUV segment, wherein for their competitors, the top player like Maruti, it is quite lower than that. Then as far as the decelerating segment of the small cars is concerned, just about 12% for Hyundai is coming from that segment, and for Maruti it's at about 40%. So I think, on and on, considering the pros and cons and comparing the valuations as well, the valuations have come down a bit now before after the listing. So I think that there are certain positives coming for them. They are coming up with new models. The EV launch of Creta is coming up, and also their powertrain speciality, the capabilities they are improving. Like they are coming into CNG, EV, as well as in ICE. They are doing strong number 2 position. So I think on and on, I would say that from these levels, Hyundai is looking good to us.
Okay, so Honda is looking good to us. There is that skepticism on the street about the muted capacity and the lack of major launches, higher royalty and lower treasury income. But Ashwin believes that there are tailwinds with the new launch of one of their vehicles which is lined up, and now the valuations have become a bit better as well. But Ashwin, I wanted to broaden our discussion and talk about the auto sector as a whole, because the inventories had inched up. There was those record high inventories. Has there been any improvement in the festive sale in the last 1 week or so, whatever channel checks you've done? Ashwin, the question on the auto sector, if you would want to answer about the festive season sales, or would you only want to talk about Hyundai IPO at the moment?
See, the festive season has not been that great as it's coming up from the bigger two-wheeler companies as well. Maruti and other passenger vehicle companies are yet to report their numbers, but overall, I think the cheer is not there very much on the street. The festive season is not really going great for the automakers. But beyond that, we would like to see that going forward in FY25 and FY26, etc., these companies will be faring well, like companies like M&M, Hyundai, Tata Motors, etc. So, the intrinsic demand and the penetration of the passenger vehicle industry in India still remains quite low. The demand is quite high. So I think definitely, I mean, inventories and all are a factor of the demand itself. But going forward, we think that these things will get much better as the year progresses. And in FY26, definitely, I think with new launches coming up, and the premiumization is driving the overall sales going forward. So we think that there is a skepticism at this point in time about the passenger vehicle industry. So we are not expecting a great growth this year. We are expecting about maybe like a mid-single digit kind of growth maximum for passenger vehicle industry this year. Going forward in FY26 on low base of FY25 and several models coming up, premiumization happening and all, I think demand should come back in FY26 much better than FY25.
Okay, hopeful of a demand recovery in FY26. And before I let you go, Ashwin, a question on the two-wheeler space then. Do you think it's better placed than the passenger vehicles? And I ask you that because there was those divergent views coming in. Bajaj Auto Con Call opened up a possibility of just a 5% growth, while, of course, the management said that it is expected to be double-digit later. What's your view on the two-wheeler environment?
See, the two-wheeler segment is also getting driven by the premiumization drive as well as the EVs. The electric vehicles are driving the two-wheelers performance, and that's why two-wheelers are doing much better than the passenger vehicles. Also, the monsoons were good. The rural demand is panning out well for two-wheelers. Also, the sentiments are improving for them. So I think two-wheelers are better placed than passenger vehicles at this point in time. Definitely the demand, the festive demand is not there for two-wheelers as well. But going forward, I think, with several launches coming up on the ICE side, the EV side, as well as the premiumization is driving. So I think two-wheelers are better placed than passenger vehicles at this point in time.
Okay, two-wheelers are better placed than four-wheelers, but it's not that they are flying off the shelves in this festive season. The demand is slow there as well a bit. Thanks, Ashwin, for making time and speaking with us on Hyundai, two-wheeler and the rest of the four-wheeler pack as well. Time for a quick break, but don't go anywhere. Lots lined up when we come back. We'll discuss the market action.
There comes a time when your heart calls for you to arise. Plant your feet solid into the ground. Decide your own limits. And then break right through them. Become something more. It's my time to rise.